Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another Movies That We Didn't Ask For month. Yeah, I haven't done a video for a week. I did a podcast earlier for, Full House. Time to get back to business, regardless of what people think. Colombiana, yes, this is the movie I'm doing next. The 2011 French English language action thriller, filmed and co-written and produced by Luc Besson, who should retire if he's not going to make anything good, and directed by one of the worst action directors of the entire world, Olivia Megaton. Yes, Josh, this is a bad director. Watch the Taken sequels. Watch freaking Transporter 3, or that movie he did on Netflix. That's like probably the least shitty film he's done, and that's only because it doesn't have atrocious editing. But I'll get to that. The film stars Zoe Saldana. Well, she is part Puerto Rican, so that counts for today. Michael Vartan, who's wasted, Cliff Curtis, who's wasted, Lenny James, Kalen Blue, and Jordi Mola playing the same villain he did in Night and Day. The term Colombiana means a woman from Colombia. Yeah, no shit. This film is about Catalia, named for genus of orchids, a 9-year-old girl in Colombia whose family is killed by a drug lord. 15 years later, a grown Catalia seeks her revenge. The film had generally negative reception. Yeah, no freaking kidding. And it's not because they're Spanish people, Josh. Do not jump the gun in the comment section. This is not about them. That's not the problem with this movie. I'll get to it. Saldana's action sequences were praised. What action? You mean the explosions? Those are okay. But when that scene in the bathroom with her and Jordi is atrocious, but I'll get to that. The movie earned $63 million on a budget of $40. It should have bombed. It should have bombed because I'm like, it's terribly paced. It's only an hour and 41 minutes. That's not the problem. Zoe Saldana is good in the film. She tries the hardest she can, even though when in the beginning, in the flashback, she's played by a black girl. The girl from the Hunger Games that played Rue. Yeah, and she did a decent job acting, even though she's not Hispanic. But we'll get. I rest my case. The census says Zoe Saldana has the chops. Yes. So do not attack me in the comment section, Josh. She's taken out by erratic and sloppy filmmaking. Yes, that is the problem. The film is horribly edited. A lot of the action you can't see what's going on because the editors are cutting here, then 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 cutting here. That's what you're doing for for half the movie. Why can't you hold the camera steady? Did you see the Ray Redemption or the MCU movies or some of the DCU movies? Keep the camera steady. I want to see what's going on. Blade came out in 98. Oh, more than 10 years before this, and you could see what's going on. It's not horribly edited. The CG doesn't work, but at least it's better edited. The film is boring. Like when there's no action, it's just this British guy who's his name? He's probably the worst actor in the movie. Lenny James, yeah. The guy for Fear the Walking Dead. He's just there because Idris Elba was too busy. Michael Vartan as Catalia's boyfriend. He's barely in the movie. He barely has a say-so. There's Spanish in the movie, but again, I was expecting that. I'm not going to fret about that. That's not the problem. Megaton things you have to cut every 2 seconds, and it takes me out of the film. The soundtrack, they try to put the song from Logan at the end. I kill myself today, or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that movie was better. It's longer, but it's a better movie. And I've seen this kind of movie done before. The John Wick movies are better. Peppermint, as flawed as it is a better movie than this. It's shorter. Jennifer Garner's performance is good. I don't care what anybody says. And the action is competent. This movie needed a rated R. You can't show an assassin killing people in PG-13 and they cut away from the violence, mostly. You know who kills the villain at the end? Dogs. I'm not kidding. Freaking dogs kill it. Controversy. What controversy? A non-profit group called Poor Colombia criticized the film, saying it's stereotype Colombia. It's a freaking movie, guys. Hispanics are always posted as the same thing. They're either loud, they're drug dealers, they're assholes, they're racists, or they're misogynists. It's almost the same thing, and yet I'm not like that. And I swear, hypersexualized, Josh, this movie is hypersexualized. Every 5 minutes they have to show Zoe Saldana's ass in like booty shorts or a wetsuit or in the shower. We get it. She's an attractive woman, Megaton. You don't have to shove it in my face. Yet, freaking, when Brie Larson does something like that, they call it trash. I'm like, Brie Larson won an Oscar. She never did a movie this bad. ever, because she won an Oscar. Yeah, the president claimed that the film is proof of a total lack of creativity in Hollywood. Yeah, because we've seen this done better. Arnold Schwarzenegger's movie Collateral Damage is better, and Cliff Curtis was way better in that than here. Yeah, Saldana said shame on them. I don't know. I wish I knew how to address stupid, unintelligent comments, but I don't. I'm not a stupid person. Blah, blah, blah. He stated that in spite of all of resemblance to the Hollywood blockbusters film provided in Paris, at least a different perspective concerning immigration and international wealth inequality. Yeah, I get it. Inequality sucks. I get it. And it was behind The Help. The Help is a better directed movie than this. A remake and a sequel. Now, if you do a sequel, I don't want Olivia Megaton directing it. Get a director that knows what he's doing. Get a Chris McQuarrie. Get a freaking Justin Lin. Get a Louis Leterrier. Get Pierre Morel, for crying out loud. Don't get this guy. This guy doesn't know how to direct action scenes. Actors, maybe, but he cannot direct action scenes. At the 2015 Cinema Europe, the production house Europa Corp announced upcoming films and mentioned Colombiana 2 was in development. Saldana responded to an interview saying she wouldn't mind reprising her role, but it has to be done better. You gotta just take notes from other movies that are better than this. Don't do the shaky cam thing. It's not working. Bad, horribly edited action scenes take me out of the movie. And it's forgettable. This could have been a decent movie. In the hands of a better director with better editing and an R rating, this would have been Peppermint. Or John Wick, or John Wick 2, or even the first Taken. Instead, it's Taken 2 and 3. And it wasn't, no one asked for this movie. It was in the September. Actually, no, it came out in September in the UK. In the US, we got it in August. But it was too late. It was late summer, and people already had their fix for Captain America, the first Avenger, and Thor. Those are better movies than this. You can see what's going on. It's not horribly edited. This has CG and is barely in the movie. It's like CG sharks. Again, seen it better in the Sharknado movies. And I don't care about the stereotypes. Every Spanish person in a movie is a stereotype or a diversity hire. This was before that happened. But again, Zoe Saldana is not the problem. Hear me. I'm speaking plain English. She is not the problem with the film. It's the editing and some of the action sequences that are shot poorly and some of the pacing. It's not the acting. The acting is not the problem. I've seen worse acting from actors from the 1950s that spoke Spanish than this. Zoe's done better. Guardians, The Losers, Infinity War, Endgame for 5 minutes of screen time there. She's done better than this. It's just dull. It's uneventful. Don't skip this movie. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. Go watch Peppermint. Go watch the Mission Impossible movies. They're a lot better than this tripe. Megaton ruins every movie he directs because he doesn't know what good editing is. This is good editing. Camera steady. I'm not shaking it. You can see me. Mostly. But there's no excuse for this. That's why I avoided this in the theater, because I'm like, I wasn't a Zoe Saldana fan at the time, and this editing is just atrocious. It's so bad. And it ruins the movie. A bunch of decent explosions don't save your film. It still sucks. Thanks for watching. Take care, and screw Colombiana. It could have been much better if it was R and was directed by a better man. But anyway, that's my review for this movie. It's really disappointing. Later.